right, we're back at it. It is the morning show right here on ETV. Almost time for us to wrap up this Monday edition for it. But hey, we still have a lot more still coming up on this motivational Monday. And today, I'm absolutely honored to be sitting with this incredible guest, a truly inspiring guest to say the least. She is a leading neurologist, an advocate for individuals with neurodiverse disorders, and the founder of the Dr. Mmako Foundation. Won't you join me in helping us welcome Dr. Tracy Mmako? Dr. Tracy, welcome to the morning show.
Thank you so much. It's lovely to be here.
It's great to have you joining us this morning. And Dr. Tracy, I was telling you just now that the idea of neurology has always intrigued me from a young age, because I'm just like, it feels so hidden, it feels so far, it feels so complex. And this is something that is close to you. But before we double click into specifically neurology,
yes.
When did you fall in love with the medicine world? Were you a child having those toy little stethoscopes?
Oh, unfortunately, I wasn't one of those children. But at the age of 6, it was my first realization that there is someone called a doctor, because I wasn't feeling so great. My dad and my mom took me to see a general practitioner, and I looked at how he, conducted himself, and I thought to myself, this is exactly what I want to do when I grow up. And so I pursued that dream.
Yeah, and I'm sure it must have felt really good on that day where you are, you get that title where you're referred to as now Dr. Tracy, and you're thinking, yes, I've made it.
Very euphoric moment, as you can imagine.
I'm imagining so. But then it moves beyond just being Dr. Tracy for the sake of the reference of the general practitioner,
yes,
to then going into the world of neurology. That
yes,
is quite a specific world, so to say. Why neurology?
I chose neurology because in internship, I fell pregnant and I delivered a beautiful little girl. But at the age of 2, she was then diagnosed as being on the autism spectrum. And I asked myself the question, okay, I'm a general practitioner. I don't understand much about ASD. So what can I possibly do to make myself the most perfect mother that I can possibly be for her? And therefore, that is where my intrigue about neurology came. So she inspired me to go that route. She was young enough for me to be able to pursue that dream so that I can understand her better.
Yeah, and to make sure that I understand well and that my understanding is not limited, neurology, that's the study of the brain and the working of the mind.
It is the study of the brain.
Yes.
And it is the study of the spinal cord. It goes broader than just brain. So it's brain, spinal cord, muscles, neuromuscular junctions, and nerves.
Yes, yes.
Yes. And when we say nerves, we don't mean what usually people refer to as my nerves are up, because that is anxiety, but we mean nerves as the things that give us sensations, the things that allow us to move, that kind of a thing. So those are the nerves.
Okay, now we're on the same page for sure.
Yes.
I didn't even know it includes the spine, so now I know for a bit.
Yes.
But Dr. Tracy, I'm imagining now as a mother, you're going into this field, you're double-clicking into the world of neurology in efforts of being a better mother. What are some of the findings that you discovered along the course when it comes to neurodiverse disorders?
I've discovered that knowledge is always power. It doesn't help us to say hashtag ASD or hashtag ADHD if we don't understand what that means for us as parents, as well as for the children or the adults that we have to deal with. So I wanted to understand more about that. So for that reason, I decided I am going to branch into neurology and further branch into neurodiversity specifically, so that I can also help the next mother, the next adult who says, there is something that I don't understand about what I have. Can you help me? Because I found that when my daughter was diagnosed, I had a struggle to find a doctor who would say, this is ADHD, this is ASD. So I wanted to be that answer for the next parent.
And I'm imagining that for a lot of parents, it is that confusion of, I don't know enough to know that's what it is, let alone how to actually adjust a life and daily living to accommodate my child. A lot of parents are finding themselves confused and overwhelmed by that. Maybe as an indication, how common is it that parents get diagnosis of their children having ADHD and or ASD? Is it something that's common?
ASD is quite common. ADHD is also quite common. What I have at hand now are the statistics for South Africa for ASD that says that 1 in about 4 of the children diagnosed with ASD would be girls, which means that ASD has a slight boys predominance, but my child is a girl. So the confusion was even higher for me because no professional was willing to diagnose her. They just said, no, give her time. Children don't develop the same way. But I knew as her mother that there was something majorly wrong with her. So that is the reason why I went on this quest to acquire knowledge in order to make myself into almost a coach for the neurodiverse community, a coach and an advocate. So I am really, really very passionate about this condition.
I believe you when you say you're passionate like that, because yes, it started as a very selfish thing for you as a mother,
Yes.
but you've kind of said, okay, I'll take the role of mothering so many others so that they can be good mothers.
Yes.
And in comes the Dr. Mmako Mkonza Foundation,
Yes.
which I think that really shares your heart of saying, hey, I want to be able to look beyond my 4 walls and my family. Tell us
Yes.
about the foundation.
The foundation I started because I had this passion to take the message of neurodiversity to the world. And in order to allow me to do that, because as you can imagine, doctors are more scientific people in their nature. We struggle very much to get out of our shell and scream it from the rooftops,
Yeah.
you know. So in order to allow me to do that, I joined the Think and Grow Rich Africa Foundation under my personal coach, a transformational coach, Mrs. Lerato Stole, so that she can help me get out of my shell. And we went into the work of inside of me to say, have you healed? Have you grieved the diagnosis?